Uh, welcome back.
यार नहीं 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 मैं इंट्रो कर रहा हूँ. ओके मैं इंट्रो कर रहा हूँ.
कर
मैं
लो, कर
मैं
लो.
कर रहा हूँ.
I am so out of practice.
Welcome back, Zen says he sounds constipated.
Welcome back to the I
Welcome back
Exist
to the
Despite
channel.
podcast.
ना मैं कर रहा हूँ.
Sense start करो.
अच्छा तो तुम लोग पहले चुप कर जाओ. आप भी चुप कर जाओ प्लीज.
Welcome back. I am Zen and I am constipated.
How funny would it be if we just start with the intro music right here?
This is gonna go into a bloopers reel or something. Achha. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the I Exist Despite podcast. Currently only
Episode
on
7.
Episode 7. Currently only on YouTube. We might branch out to Spotify and SoundCloud in the future, but currently we are only on YouTube. So today we don't.
भाई
we don't
RSS feed बनाने के पैसे नहीं है हमारे पास.
पैसे देके
Yeah.
please देके
Speak for yourself, my boy.
Dirty laundry ना निकालो अभी.
Achha. So for now, today we don't really have any topics planned, so we're probably going to talk about random things as usual. So
Yeah.
we can really do like the boys podcast right now. You know, we have Maria here. She's illegally male. Let's do it. You wouldn't pirate the gender, would you? You wouldn't pirate the gender, would you?
Maria, how funny! Like pretend for this one episode that you're a guy. For this entire episode. Say it.
Okay, I am a guy. I am very stinky. What is a shower?
Allah. Bro, that's one hell of a stereotype right there.
Stereotype.
So yeah, so it's been a while since I've been on the podcast. It's been like कितने हफ्ते हो गए? 7 हफ्ते? Like I haven't been
I
here
think
since
it's
episode
more
1, I
than
think.
It's
been a while.
a month or so. It was
Yeah, I
good
haven't
while
been
it
here since
lasted.
episode 1. I don't know about how to feel about that after I had to give the intro because Zen was too much of yikes. Yeah. So anyways, we do not really have anything on the agenda except that Maria is now illegally a male for the for the majority
Yeah.
for the remaining
The guy
time of
squad.
yeah,
Guys,
it's the
we're the dudes.
boys.
Right, Maria, how's your experience as
It's
a boy?
the broadcast. It's the
What do
broadcast.
please explain what do guys do when they're together? Do they talk about girls?
No. No.
I'm
Probably
not
because
sure.
none of us are eligible bachelors. So we
You are invalid,
don't.
guys. Sorry.
Allah.
Yes.
Mario, stop attacking us, यार.
Ajib.
Like attack भी ऐसे है कि मैं
Some
पागलों की
people
तरह
do
हंस रहा हूँ
label
अभी.
me as an eligible bachelor. I don't know why.
It's fine. I don't.
Probably
I'm
I
still
don't
because
really pass as a
17.
girl.
probably because like you look a bit more aged than you actually are.
No, he doesn't.
Uh,
What do
You
you
look
No.
mean
like a
by
baby.
that?
Vajahat looks like a baby. Come on, Abis.
huh.
Vajahat, you look like
Especially
a
when I
baby, I'm
trim my
sorry.
beard.
He's a
He acts
small
more
human.
mature than all of us combined.
Excuse me, have you not met me ever before? Except on the podcast.
I have met you, and that's why I'm saying it.
Zen is like an old person.
बस वही पे तुम लोग ने इतना रोस्ट किया मुझे एज पे मेरे दोस्तों ने कि now the best thing you can come up with Zen is just an old person.
जब
I
Zen
thought it was because
Yep.
of your hair. Like
Zen क्लास में मेरे साथ बैठा होता है ना
नहीं.
तो मेरे टीचर की आवाज नहीं आती कि उसकी हड्डियां इतनी जोर की क्रैक कर रही होती हैं.
awful.
I think one day I'll just
Wow.
start this ASMR page for just bone cracking because it happens a lot.
People like it. Some people like that. Some
Wait,
people
let
are
me
into
do
that.
let me do this. Here. Suno.
What?
Suno,
People
ye
like
suno.
cracking bones.
People would fucking love that.
Sunai diya?
Oh my god. हाँ.
Sunai diya?
नहीं करो,
Okay.
नहीं करो.
Yep. I heard that.
I didn't, and I'm glad
This
I
is
didn't.
Zen Moti bone
I
cracking
I
ASMR.
will be amplifying this when we edit it, and this
No,
is
no,
the
no, no,
I
no.
Exist Despite
No,
bone cracking edition.
I heard
No, no,
it,
no.
and I regret hearing it.
Right. So
Zen Moti, we broke his bone. I Exist Despite episode 7. We
broke
broke his bones. I can already imagine the clickbait. It's gonna be amazing.
yep.
Yeah. Zen had a broken heart. Now he has broken bones as well.
Bro, who broke your heart, Zen? What
Um,
the man?
Many
Uh,
people.
Yeah,
It's been a
I
while.
can kind of vibe to that, to be honest.
Khair, yaar.
Broken Hearts Club, rise up.
I cannot relate
I can't. I'm
क्योंकि
sitting in
मैं
a beanbag.
क्यों- क्योंकि मैं पॉडकास्ट में 90% of the time हंस रहा होता हूँ सर. So even if I wanted to, I cannot relate. I just
So,
Can you
Maria,
like-
you've been a boy.
Anyways.
Maria, you've been a boy for about 5 minutes now. How does it feel to be a boy? How does it feel to be a man?
My
yeah, man.
I don't know. It's kind of, I would not recommend.
Would not recommend. 0 out of 3 out of 10. Would not recommend. This
Two-star.
is born a woman, lol.
Yeah.
I think we
suddenly-
should really start getting our shit together and planning these.
Yeah, we
I
did.
just-
Yeah.
And then Omama decided to bail. So it was like,
Yo,
yeah,
I-
we have a lot of last minute bailing because we have our own.
Ducko Mama. We can figure
Ducko
this out
Mama.
ourselves.
Bro, you're the
Yes,
duck
she is
around
a
here.
woman. She is beneath us.
Oh, I don't know about that one, Chief. Can we just bleep this out?
No, this is going
Getting
in.
cancelled.
This is going
No,
in.
This
no.
episode is called episode 9 getting cancelled. Oh shit, it's episode 7. Sorry, episode 7 getting cancelled.
Day one of getting cancelled. I do not
हमारी
know
हर
how much
एपिसोड
more
का
days-
यही नाम हो सकता है वैसे.
Honestly. I exist despite more like I exist to cancel. Am I right, boy?
I exist to get cancelled.
Oh, right. So
That's a nice one.
Hey,
That's a nice one.
This could be a good spin-off if we ever get that far. But yeah, I don't think guys in general really do talk about girls when they're like in groups.
it
Yep.
depends.
Yeah,
It
girls
kind
don't
of
talk
depends
about
on the
guys
group.
It depends on the group.
Because
Because,
if I'm like with my
Well-
like boys,
Ah.
then and if there's like a girl problem with any one of them, then we'll talk about it. But it's not like we
It's
just
not a
talk,
group
only
thing.
talk
Like
about girls.
most of the groups I've been in, it's like bade log, nahi aap bade log, nahi aap bade log, and it goes on and on like that for like the first half an hour, and then they're like, "आप क्या कर रहे हैं? नहीं आप पहले बताएं, नहीं आप पहले बताएं." Like it's all formalities and
हाँ
dumb
तो
stuff. Yeah.
Abis, then that's not
Yeah.
like the boys, ना.
It's
पहले तो
not
तू
the
तड़ाके
boys.
में होते हैं. जो boys होते हैं वो तू तड़ाके में होते हैं. गालियां देके बुलाते हैं.
नहीं मेरे वाले
नहीं,
जो
like-
बॉयज हैं वो
like
एक
जो
ही तरह की
boy-
लड़कियों की बात करते हैं एनएमए लड़कियां.
Just
Anime
leave that
like-
out.
Okay.
Leave that out. Okay, but we're not talking about the weebs right now. Okay, we're not talking about the weebs right now. And they're 2D waifus. We're not talking about that right now.
They don't have to be 2D if it's a body pillow.
Bro, Maria, Maria, you've
Maria,
been a guy for like 10
stop.
minutes and you're already... We don't talk about those,
What
my
the
dude.
hell?
Sorry.
You know, like
नहीं, I get
Oh.
most of my like and weird weeb information from them, and people have weird fetishes.
I think guys in general in groups are quite different from women in the sense that like one thing I've noticed a lot is that girls always travel in packs. Like that's the only way to describe
Yeah.
it. They're like going
Yeah, they
anywhere.
do.
There's gonna be
Yeah,
at
they
least
do because-
a pair or a trio or a group, and it's like no, like even if you're like just
Like
going
a
from one class
kettle.
to another.
नहीं,
If
they
you-
do
even if you're-
because like there are men out there who have
Yeah,
crazy,
no. If you're in a
ideas
private
in
ass
their
school,
mind.
if you're in a fucking private ass school, and you're just going down the hall from one class to the other, what the fuck?
No, they just like company, I guess. Like people like
Say yeah, but like
talking to
always,
each other.
like I've never seen a girl like at least like
I've
when
never
I
seen a
at
girl.
least when
Just
I
stop
wanted to talk.
it.
I'm just
I've
gonna
never
bleep this
seen
entire
a
part out
girl.
because we got into some really shady territory.
Maria, you're a man now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're a
I'm
man now.
now.
You're a tough
Yep.
guy, like a really. I'm the bad guy.
what the heck was
Yeah.
that?
I'm the bad.
Stop it.
Do you want
That-
me to play the bad guy baseline here?
Acha. But like kind of going on like off a tangent on this. That recently I felt that like because my hair has been growing out a lot, so I've had to use a lot of like women. I like to call them women tools in the sense that I have had to wear a hairband. I've had to use hairpins, and like
Yeah.
it's made me appreciate how difficult it is to be a woman. Like shout out to all the women out there. Asan
Not
nahi
you,
hota.
Maria.
It's not easy.
Man, I don't know what you're talking about.
It's not easy being a woman. Shout out to all the women out there. It's not
I
easy.
wish I could shave my
Yep,
head
it
sometimes because
definitely
like
isn't.
It's not easy. And like the biological stuff aside, like all that, but like
yeah.
even like the day-to-day stuff, like long ass hair. Long hair is a pain in the ass, right?
Yes, it is. I agree. मैंने काट दिए काफी ज़्यादा अपने because
Like
it's
my
just
hair isn't that long. My hair isn't very long, but like it's still a fucking pain in the ass. Like
नहीं.
if
But
I'm
the thing
trying,
is कि
Guys,
like
I see
the
an army
length
of rad
hair
femmes
that you
coming
have
to
right
kill
now.
us.
I don't care. I'm fine with shouting out the girls, right?
Like the length of hair
They
that you
deserve
have
it.
right now is harder to manage than like actually long hair. Because वो
Might be.
छोटे होते हैं ना तो बार बार मुंह पे आ रहे होते हैं and it's just
Exactly.
annoying. But when they
Exactly.
get
Yeah.
like past a
हाँ,
certain length, it's
that's
like
very
fine.
annoying.
So the reason why I have long ass hair is that I don't trust myself and I don't trust my dad to cut my hair.
Yeah, don't
So,
trust your dad. Don't do this.
yeah.
Last time बाबा ने मेरे
Yep.
भाई के बाल काटे थे and then it went bad. So then he took us to Port Grant to make up for it because my brother started crying.
I've cried over a haircut. I don't know if any of you have, but I've cried. I've cried at least once on a haircut.
I've cried once too.
No,
मैं like
I have never cried over a
Mhm.
haircut, and I
I've
like
cried once
वो
because
भी
my
घर
mom always
आकर.
cuts my
नहीं,
hair.
वो होते थे नहीं,
shit.
वो होता था कि अगर आपका नाई बड़ा खड़ूस है तो वो है ना, वो ब्रश जो होता था, पता नहीं क्या आयरन का ब्रश लेते थे वो और आपकी
ओ
गर्दन पे
यार
जोर
वो
से ना
आयरन का
मारते
ही
थे.
होता है, वो स्टेनलेस स्टील का वो होता है.
करते थे.
उसकी-
What kind of barber are you going to, Bilal?
नहीं they do
I'm pretty
have
sure
those.
that's a crime.
नहीं they do have those stainless steel वाले जो तुम लोगों ने normal brushes नहीं देखे, hair brushes, उसके ऊपर जो stainless steel के जो filaments होते हैं. I'm pretty sure it's
हाँ.
stainless steel. So what's
Yeah.
that? It's that.
तो
लेकिन
गर्दन
उनका वो
पे क्यों
rubber
मारा उसके?
It
नहीं
sounds like stainless.
नहीं, वो
it
आपके
sounds
ना पीछे से जो सारे बाल वगैरह जो निकालते हैं,
हाँ जब वो शेप
मतलब उसके
वगैरह
जो
कर रहे होते हैं.
फिलामेंट्स ऐसे फील होते हैं, हाँ उसके फिलामेंट्स ऐसे फील होते हैं कि बहुत शार्प हैं
Ouch.
और
वो
मतलब
होते भी है.
आपको पूरा लाल
उनके
हो
जो
जाएगा.
उनके पास जो होते हैं वो बहुत पुराने ब्रशेस होते हैं, राइट? तो वो उनके जो टिप्स
हाँ.
होती है ना, जो रबर या प्लास्टिक की जो
हाँ.
टिपिंग
वो
होती है,
उतर
वो
गई होती है.
असर.
हाँ, I get what you mean.
नहीं, वो उतर गई होती हैं. और मुझे
हाँ,
याद आता
तो
है जिस मैं बचपन में जिस
इवन जो
जगह पे
नॉर्मल
जाता था
कंगा जो
वहां
होता है
पे तो
उनका,
है ना,
वो बहुत चुभता है.
हाँ वो लोग जो जैसे टूथब्रश के कैसे फिलामेंट्स होते हैं नायलॉन के, उस ब्रश के वैसे फिलामेंट्स होते हैं, सो दे हर्ट.
Yeah, ouch.
Ouch.
तो yeah, I'm really glad कि बार्बरीज वगैरह जो है अब अच्छे खासे वेल डेवलप हो गए. अब like ACs वगैरह वाले हैं.
या
हाँ.
Like it's
नहीं,
the entire thing is good.
ACs aside, like उनके जो equipments वगैरह हैं, वो
Equipment
काफी
वगैरह, हाँ.
हद तक improve
There's
और
like now a
specifically
level
hygiene.
of it. Hygiene
Hygiene
वगैरह,
और
भी
exactly.
सही है.
हाइजीन भी जो है वो नॉर्मल हो
hygiene
गया.
exactly. हाँ.
Yeah, that's
I
probably
don't
good.
trust
पहले तो
barbers
वही
right now.
एक ही ब्लेड से 2-3 लोगों को कर लेते थे थे और अब ब्लेड्स चेंज
नहीं,
करते हैं
और उससे
तो
आपका हेपेटाइटिस
एंटीसेप्टिक में डिप करेंगे.
बी फैलता है.
यार वो पिछले 10 साल से तो कम से कम जो है ये हो रहा है. लाइक जो ब्लेड चेंज करने वाली जो बात है वो पिछले 10 साल से तो हो ही रहा है. क्योंकि
नहीं,
I remember
आजकल
when I
जो
was a
मैंने
kid.
देखा है अब वो एंटीसेप्टिक्स यूज कर रहे होते हैं, पहले वो भी
हाँ.
यूज नहीं करते थे.
I remember when I was a kid, तो अम्मा जो है मुझे हमेशा कहती थी जब मैं बाल कटवाने जाता था कि नाई से जरूर कहना कि ब्लेड चेंज करके वो करे. एंड आई वाज जस्ट बी लाइक दिस लिटिल 8-year-old जो बस गली में जो है गया है बाल कटवाने. एंड आई वाज जस्ट बी लाइक अंकल ब्लेड चेंज करके लगाइएगा. Because I would usually go like walk with like my cousins who would like live really near us, or like the cousins at my house because I used to live in a joint family. So it was pretty funny.
What's it like living in a
Yeah,
joint
this
family?
It's weird. You're like
it's
I've used this term
you
a
have
lot,
like
but
little privacy.
yeah, but it's also like being the bastard oldest. It's like being the bastard old middle child is what I like to use to describe it, because you're not the youngest usually,
Yeah.
like unless you are the youngest, no. But like if you aren't the youngest in like the cousins wala bracket now that are living there, then you're kind of like the bastard middle child, where you have to act like the older sibling for the younger ones, and you have to be the younger sibling for the older cousins.
Yeah,
Not
I get that.
exactly
Oh
the
my god.
younger, like it's like you're the servant for the older ones and the nanny for the younger ones.
Nahi, like, kind of. But it's like,
हाँ.
agar like, if the younger cousins come to you for help, then you have to help them. Wali baat hai na?
वही ना,
Like,
you're the nanny for the younger ones. Like जो
nanny,
छोटे बोलेंगे
I
बस वो
wouldn't say
करना
nanny.
है. Like
I wouldn't say nanny because like I did stuff like यार इसका फड्डा हुआ है स्कूल में, तो बस जो है मैं और बाकी सारे जो बड़े जो हैं वो आ गए हैं बस, क्योंकि बंदा
Oh
बस में
wow,
पंगे ले रहा है.
nice.
मैंने जिंदगी में
okay.
सिर्फ एक बार
You
किया है, and it
went
was
to
like
Phaddas.
मेरे खुद के पन्ने बहुत हुए हैं. I don't like to talk about it very much anymore, but like जो मेरा 5th to I'd say 7th वाला जो period था, when I moved from Rawalpindi to Karachi here, वो मेरे लिए
Yeah.
अच्छा खासा tough था because bullying and all that, and I'm not the type of guy who like sits well with bullying, so I would fight a lot with the people who would try to bully me.
like I
Rawalpindi
understand
is
it
like pretty
because like
small, so
bullying
like
वगैरह
you
होती रहती है.
move to like एकदम से बड़ा setup, right?
Like I used to live in Karachi for a very long time now. जब मैं joint family में जब रहता था ना, मैं कराची में ही रहता था. So my living was kind of like this. I was born in Karachi while my parents were on vacation. While my parents were on vacation, my
They
parents
were on
didn't.
vacation.
My parents didn't
Throw
show
back
up to
to the
my
meme.
birth.
Throw back to the meme from episode 1 or episode 2. I
This
don't
is a
remember.
callback
Both
joke.
my parents failed to show up.
Both my parents failed to show up to my birth. Okay, so both my parents. So my father wasn't here when I was born, right? He was back in Lahore because he was working on the Lahore airport. So
Yeah.
life story of me, by the way, guys. So yeah, I was born in Karachi, even though I should have been born in Lahore. So my parents stayed in Lahore for like we went back to Lahore. We stayed there for I think 2 more years. Then we came back to
Yeah.
Karachi. I did my pre-nursery, nursery, kindergarten, and I for a while. Then I went to Wakend for
Where's
a couple
that?
of years. Wakend Vini Kamra, which is basically like a city in northern Punjab. Yeah, and it has like an adjacent town. Vagera. It's near Islamabad, Attak, vagera.
Oh, okay. Say.
So we lived there for a couple of years. Then we moved to Rawalpindi. Then we moved back to Karachi. Then to Rawalpindi, and then back
You
to Karachi.
moved a lot.
I moved a lot.
Yep. It
And
almost makes me feel happy that I haven't moved a lot because I can like describe my life
And it would
and
be
like
very awkward.
I
No?
lived in Karachi.
Like there's this वो setting वगैरह का बहुत off होता था कि like I would go from joint family to living in an
हाँ
apartment
ना,
to living in a
like
house.
बहुत ज़्यादा moving कर रहे होते
नहीं
हैं तो
like
उसमें फिर वही होता है
lifestyle बहुत
like you
different हो
need
जाता था.
time to adjust and by the time
Exactly.
you've adjusted to it
But does
you're
that
moving
mean
along.
that you're better with coping with change?
I don't know what do you mean by change?
Change, I mean like वैसे ही like generally
Everything,
जिंदगी
like
में जो changes आती हैं, like
हाँ
changing
पूरी
friend
आपके
groups,
surrounding
changing like people. Are you
I
able
need an
to?
example. I need an example. We were
An
trying.
example as in like when you go to university,
हाँ.
and none of your friends are going with you, will you be able to cope with that better than a normal person would? Like a normal person would probably like take a little bit of time to make new friends and stuff. Are you able to do that like more quickly
Yeah,
than normal
like
people?
I did this technique in O levels and I wasn't like particular, and that was because of like I've grown, like I've learned from that, and it was like in O levels. Now most of my friends were like I didn't know these people except for like maybe 10 people in my class in like O levels I knew before I was there. So and 3 of them were my class fellows, incidentally. Yeah, 3 of them were my class fellows. So it was really like I didn't interact with them very much because obviously there was like those 2-3 years while I was in Karachi where we obviously people changed during that time a lot. That like that period is especially prior to O levels to O levels, people change a lot, and there's like a certain level of maturity that's gained. So I
Yeah,
wasn't
that's
sure
true.
how to interact with those people. So what I did was like I was kind of like on my own, and then I like
Are you
eventually
good at being on your own?
I think I am. Like I used to, I can be on my own. I prefer not to be. I think
Yeah.
because time for edge because of the demons inside of my head. Real edge
Yeah.
hours. Let's go, boys.
Too much
But
thinking.
like,
But honestly, I think it's very difficult to be on your own. Like at times, इस तरह से होता है कि like you're on your own, you have your own free time and whatever you want to do with it. But
Yeah.
when it all comes down, it's like you wish that there was someone like you could talk. Like
Not always.
हाँ.
Not always. मुझे in my personal
नहीं, like
experience,
कभी कभार होता है कि like you sometimes wish that there was somebody that you could relate to, like
sometimes it's like
somebody
that.
somebody that could relate to you and like you could talk to them.
नहीं,
I
इट्स नॉट
think
जस्ट कि ना दूसरों से रिलेट का हो, योर फैमिली डायरेक्ट ब्लड रिलेशन वहां पे होता है, तो इट्स इट गेट्स अ होल लॉट बेटर, क्योंकि मैं सिर्फ एक हफ्ते के लिए घर से बाहर गया था जब लूमन के लिए, और मुझे होम सिक फील हो रहा था, इवन दो पूरी डिबेट टीम साथ थे और हमने डिबेट टीम ने मतलब वी आर लाइक ऑलमोस्ट ब्रदर्स आई वुड से, बट स्टिल देयर वाज अ फीलिंग
I
ऑफ होम
definitely agree
सिकनेस.
to that. Everybody's like like the 12 people that were invited to like the end wala, the farewell. I think that
Hmm.
entire group, no, it's pretty good. Um, I think that like I value friendship more as like a pastime than actually consulting, like actually investing into something. Like every time I've talked to people about my emotions and all my feelings and stuff, I've always ended up regretting it in some way.
Yeah,
Which is why
same.
I don't like.
Same.
Which is why I don't like to talk about it. Right. That, which is why I really want to put in the meme here about like women, you shouldn't bottle up your feelings. Men talk about their feelings. Women, man, this guy sure is a man. This guy sure is a pussy.
Oh my god, that is toxic.
That is extremely toxic, and I've been through
Does
that.
it happen a lot?
It's happened to me. I don't know how often it
That
happens,
sucks. I'm sorry.
and yeah, it's pretty bad. Which is, and like even recently, I've regretted talking about my feelings because I value honesty a lot,
Hmm.
which is why I like to have relationships in which we're like pretty honest, right?
Yeah.
So if there are feelings that are linked to that honesty, then I think it's pretty fair to expect honesty and be like honest with a person, and then like expect that person to be honest as well. I
Huh,
think
it is
relationships.
pretty fair.
I think relationships
Naturally
should
you
be
like
built on.
expecting what you give to the relationship.
No, not
It's
even that, but
natural.
like in relationships in particular, I want to emphasize about relationships because I think if you don't have a honest relationship with a person, whether it be a friendship or like family relation, yeah, jo bhi hai, so I don't think you can like actually have you can't trust that person unless you're honest with them. Is the
That is
thing
true,
that
and that
And you
like
keep second guessing the decisions you guys have discussed already.
yeah,
and like
which is
Not
things
why
only
end
that,
up
but
building
like
up.
हाँ,
जब
and
transparency नहीं होती ना.
and it gets worse the more like you like put the issue off and like you're just going on with it.
well, honestly, I like I'm gonna be giving some bad advice right about now. Avoiding your issues, bro. If you just wait for like, if you wait for something to get fixed, 9 out of 10 times, in my opinion at least, it gets fixed. Right. The more I try to push a problem to be solved, the worse it's gotten.
Yeah.
Let's just keep a big ass.
Yeah. Just keep a big ass. Thank you, Zen. Very
Just
true.
keep a big ass.
नहीं भाई
Damn boy,
आवाज
he
नहीं आ रही है.
thick boy. That's
आवाज
the
कट गई
Profound
थी.
fucking
advice.
boy.
आवाज कट गई थी. अजीब.
Profound advice. So this is what boys talk about.
We talk about a lot of things. We talk about this is honestly a pretty good representation of what boys talk about.
No,
We talk
Yeah,
about something really
yeah,
serious for like 10 minutes, and then we suddenly go ass, ass. The entire
हाँ.
like starts going ass,
yeah.
even though they've never
मैं
gotten a crumb of ass in their life.
मैं बोल रहा हूँ आवाज कट गई थी मेरी कि यहाँ पे बिग एस अलर्ट लगा दो बैड एडवाइस का. एनीवेज
Warning,
पहले कॉन्वर्सेशन चल रही थी तो मैं
but
पूछना चाह रहा था हैव यू गाइस एवर एक्सपीरियंस्ड के like you open up to someone and you tell them all of your secrets and stuff and then you start to realize that you can't trust them like after you've
Yeah.
done you screwed it up.
yeah,
Yep.
No,
I live by a very
Not
simple
really.
I live by a very simple
name
philosophy, especially recently. Never tell your best friend anything that you wouldn't tell your worst enemy. and I think that's pretty.
That is a very good way
That's
to.
smart. Huh. It's very smart and it's very
Also,
poetic.
very sad.
That is
It's very sad.
Very
very
lonely.
unexpected from you.
Before I started like A levels, मुझे मेरे भाई ने कहा था कि किसी को कोई ऐसी बात बताना है which you wouldn't be okay with everybody knowing about you,
Oh,
and that has been a pretty good way
True
to
that.
like live life until now. अभी तक मैंने देखा है.
there are still some things that I can
Honestly, I
some
like
things that I
I'd
don't.
like to add up that I was sort of the opposite. Like मेरे जो हर किसी से मसला होता था कि अगर पता चल गया, so I used to be the quiet person. Like मैं किसी से बात ही नहीं करता था फिर उससे. So I regret it because I think that was a bit too extreme of me. It's like हाँ सही है, you can talk to people about stuff like simple casual talk. Like it's not like you are not allowed to, it's prohibited or something, but it's like if you're going to like talk about something more personal, like something about your life, you must really know the person really well. Like you should have some level of trust, not 100%, but some level of trust in them to like you believe that they are capable of like keeping it.
And also, I think ये चीज़ भी important होती है कि you should know how good of a judge of character you are. Because I know that I'm a terrible judge of character, so I know
Same.
whoever I end up trusting probably doesn't deserve to be trusted. So
Like,
I know.
like it's quite the opposite for me because like the like most of my life I was the quiet person, so like I was mostly the one who was observing people, so I sort of know
I don't
how
think
to
you
like.
need to be quiet or particularly observant to like. I don't really like.
No, like I said
I
it
really
that
like to
I
hear
was
the
an
words of
extremist.
a
I
friend of mine.
regret it, like that extremist behavior, but like it's a sort of a plus point to being that extremist.
I'd really like to
It's
go
not like
female friend
I'm
of mine and
saying
say
that.
you put them through a vibe check. You know, you just gotta do a vibe check. If the vibes don't match, you just like say fuck it.
Yeah, I did all of that,
Honestly,
and the
that
person
is
just changed on me
that.
completely.
Yeah, we're
Oh
at
shit.
that stage, and I said this I think enough times.
Yeah, I
We're
hate
constantly
that.
changing.
That
This is why,
yeah.
like, we talked about this in the Forsaken, the lost episode of marriage, divorce, and dating.
Yeah.
That at this stage, people are changing so quickly, even in university. I think up until the end of university, people are changing so quickly that you don't really know people.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it's
Yeah.
because by the time they're like finishing off with the universities, they're like actually thinking about what they would be doing for the rest of their
Exactly.
lives, and
Exactly.
then
Yeah.
it's like the
Yeah.
sort of
Exactly.
that enlightenment that they sort of realize that what they want to do and who they actually consider to be useful for them, and that's how they go about it.
See
I don't
Like
that
know.
if you're
कि
just
ये
a friend,
useful वाली चीज़ है ना. I felt
like if
like
you're
once this
just a
thing
good
happened,
friend and not useful enough, like
it felt
they
like
most likely would ditch you.
it felt like I was like first taken for granted, and then it felt like I was the consolation prize because जब कोई और नहीं होता था तो मैं होता था. और
हाँ,
समझ रहे हो मैं क्या
exactly.
कहना
That
चाह रहा हूँ?
And with that, and
हाँ,
I think that's like really toxic. Like just not just like both in the sense of putting it on yourself, like being के यार मैं इस बंदे के लिए consolation prize हूँ. That's like really bad
like it's so like it gives you that feeling that you're being used because it's like you're the last person they want to talk with. Like जब कोई नहीं है तो आप हैं
So
वहाँ पे
yeah,
तो
Plan
आपसे बात
B.
कर.
You're like
It's
everyone's
like
plan
they're
B. It feels
Yeah.
it's
like.
like
And it's
they're
bad for your
forced to
self-esteem as
talk
well.
to
it's
you.
bad for your self-esteem. It's bad for your mental. It's bad for your. It's bad.
It's just bad.
Bad.
It's
It's
extremely toxic.
it's very
That's the
bad.
way I'm gonna
Yep.
put it. It's not like bad. It's
Yes, and
toxic.
that is why I feel like I don't know people. That is why I have a hard time like sometimes getting close to people and being vulnerable with them because it just feels safer to be closed off. Because like मतलब अगर आप किसी को trust कर रहे हैं, even if you're not telling them things like that, sooner or later you're going to start value what they think and their opinion and how they treat you, and that's going to make you feel insecure.
You're insecure.
Actually,
You're
that does.
Don't know
insecure.
what for.
You're
Yeah.
But
insecure.
other than that, like I would like to
So,
point out that honestly, like having a smaller friend circle is, I think it's more better. Like if you have a smaller friend circle of friends that actually matter, because
What
at the end of the
actually
day,
like I'm gonna cut you off. I'm sorry, Abis, but like, what do you guys like? What's your like definition of a friend? Right? Like,
A friend,
friend in need is friend in need.
yeah, sure.
Okay.
Is that like
Now
your?
we're getting
It's
to the
more
real
like
Not
philosophical stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
not
it's more
not
like
exactly that the friend in need wala scene. Like friend in need is basically you're using a person and you're like trying
I
to put an
honestly
act at
very
their
much
friend.
disagree with that.
I do not like that notion that friend in need is friend in need. Like
I think people interpreted it in a very negative way, and it's more like you can trust a person who helps you,
You can
and
depend on them.
yeah, yeah. A good friend is somebody you can depend on, and I think that's
ah,
pretty
I
good.
think all of the other benefits of like a friend in need, the friend in need wali cheez is just a side benefit of having a good friend.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah,
the main
it's
thing is
nahin,
it's
you
not
it's
like
can
not
mood now.
it's not just about the side benefit wali cheez. The original the meaning of the original statement was basically that a true friend is the one that comes to you, like it comes they come to help you regardless of you asking them. Like आप बोलें भी नहीं और फिर वो खुद ब खुद आ जाते हैं. Like that's a friend. Like you trust
Ah,
them just like how they
so
trust.
when
Like
you
it's a
need
sort
the
of a
friend,
mutual correlation.
he or she is there.
He is there without you telling them to. Yep.
I think like consistency is like really important in a relationship. That
Yeah,
like
Yep.
definitely. Any relationship.
I'm
Agreed.
I'm the type of
because
person.
because it's like अगर आप consistent नहीं आपने first image बहुत अच्छा बनाया and then the other person starts to expect too much from you and then you're not consistent and they're
I
like
disagree with
disappointed
that.
and they start to feel
I
like
think
that maybe I was judging you wrong, maybe I was wrong somewhere, like
I
there's a mix up in your
Um,
character and then they're like
Abis,
they
Abis,
start to cut
Abis,
everyone off.
well, I'm going to disagree with you on this quite a bit. And in the consistency wala part, it's that what people don't realize a lot is that again, पहली बात change. दूसरी बात like you can't expect like let's say a person is honest for a month or a year and they aren't honest for like a day or a week, then we're suddenly like, oh no, this person, he wasn't honest to me with me, man, this guy is a fucking asshole. No, it's like you have to like
नहीं इस तरह से नहीं होना चाहिए like
exactly, yeah,
it's not just that you must keep in mind what the other person is going through,
exactly.
like अगर कोई दूसरा person कोई
I'm gonna
crisis से
take
जा रहा है of
devil's
course he is going to start to
exactly,
cut
Avis.
you
That is
off.
what I'm saying. Like that is the reason why I disagree with you on like the consistency part because uh देखो like one person cannot consistently be there for you the entire duration of your friendship because everybody has their own lives going on, and I think
priorities.
a healthy friendship is one where you understand that the other person, like that the other person's life does not revolve around you.
I think
Like
that
अगर आपकी
हाँ
that
बात
is
करने
true.
में लंबे लंबे gaps आ रहे
What
होंगे,
if
Yeah.
that you shouldn't think कि like this person suddenly hates me. Maybe they just have things to do अपनी जिंदगी के अंदर and that is why they haven't been talking to you.
I
वही
think
ना
that's
फिर trust
important
की
in
बात
every
आ जाती
Yeah.
है, like
Yeah.
yeah,
you trust that the friend would be there as a
but then
friend,
what if
like
like
then nothing changed.
essentially with me what happened is at some point my friend just started making, not like at one point वो directly बोल दिया था लेकिन उससे पहले भी they were implying very clearly कि I don't care about you as much as I care about some of my other people, some of my other
then
friends.
fuck them, fuck them.
Yeah, that's
Fuck
what
him
I
right
did
in
for
the
a
ass.
few
Fuck him
months.
right in the ass.
Like
नहीं
Fuck him
honestly
right in
it
the ass.
hurts.
हंसने no.
and I was like
And yes.
खैर
Okay.
bleep सारा करके आगे बढ़ो. मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि
I'll bleep
that
you.
experience like sort of makes you less open to those kinds of friendships where you share everything and talk about everything. And I
Yeah.
think that's the worst part of I think college, I think for me. Okay, that notion of like जो
I
friendship होता है ना
honestly
कि you can
think
trust and like your friend वो खत्म हो
this
गया
is
आजकल.
not fair of me, but I'd honestly blame it on like the person who's getting second fiddle. I'm this is probably really unfair, but it's like my opinion of it is you should be more observant of these kinds of things, especially when they're like blatantly
So
at
then
it.
it,
When they're blatantly like,
yeah,
we don't
the
like
thing is
you,
कि sometimes
it's that then you should be like, okay, I'm better than this. I'm better than being treated like
not everybody has the privilege to have come to that conclusion with me
Obviously,
unique
yeah,
and
and
like
which is
for
why
the
this is
longest.
unfair. This is unfair of me. I realize that, but it's
Uh,
like it's still my opinion, right? And I know it's unfair,
See,
but
I
like,
understand it's your opinion, and like ideally, I would like again, um, like I would hope कि a person would be able to say कि like I'm better than this. Like, and the thing is that not everybody has reached that position in their life. Like, मैं like until grade like 10, I didn't even realize कि I didn't value myself at all तब तक सही है. I had a lot of toxic friendships and I just let them go on for way longer than they had to for like years because I thought that this is the best that I deserve.
I think when we're
So
younger, we don't value each other, ourselves
that
or other
is
people,
that is
and
very
that's
depressing.
something that you have to learn yourself. I think that's the only thing that you have to learn. People can teach you that you like what your value is, right? But it's something
I
that you
I
think
have to
think
not.
you
find
have
yourself.
to get
I think
over
not.
for you to learn that.
I think so. I think so. It's one of the. It's like definitely one of those heartbreak makes the person, like tragedy makes the artist. वाला जो
It's like you learn through experience. Like
yeah,
आप
you learn
जितना
through it.
experience करेंगे,
You learn through
you realize it that much.
it. But I think it's a good thing as well. Like I think fundamentally like there needs to be like that teenage angst, right? Which because it
Obviously,
does
like
help,
that,
because it does help in character
it
development.
makes you.
Yeah,
It
it does
makes you
make
who
you
you
a
are.
person. Like
It
um
breaks you and then makes you
makes you
stronger.
exactly like breakups, toxic relationships, bad grades, um failures in general, like losing
It puts things
competitions,
into perspective and it makes you realize what's actually important.
and it
As
also
okay,
like
so as like experienced people, like semi-experienced people out of going out of college or at least finishing up college, what advice should we like give to our listeners who are going to go through this or are still going through this?
Um,
How to deal with
I
all of that right
I
don't
now?
be
think
afraid.
that
Don't be
I
afraid.
would say,
like learn to embrace your negative emotions. Like you shouldn't be like why am I like this? You should be like it happens to everybody. Like it's okay, it will pass on. You will have your bad times and good times and all. But you shouldn't like just like, ये नहीं होना चाहिए कि एक बुरी चीज हुई है और फिर उसी पे अटक गए हैं कि नहीं अब ये बुरी चीज एक दफा हो गई है तो ये बार बार होती
I'm gonna
रहेगी. Like
revert
good
what
times
Abhay
would
said.
come.
I'm gonna
Focus on the
revert
good
what
things.
Abhay said and say, if you're ever feeling like negative and shit, don't be like, why am I like this? Be, I am like this to spite, because you exist to spite. We all exist to
Yep.
spite. This
I
is the I
Yeah.
exist
wanna
to spite
I have
podcast
I
I wanna
have
episode
two
focus
minutes
on
7.
of
the like the
advice.
more the negative emotions jo hote hain na. I think like one thing that I've learned from high school and college is that
High school.
you can't like just put it in like a box and lock it up and put it aside. You
I
have
mean,
the
that's what I
only way
do.
to get over all of this is going through them. So you have to feel all of the anger
Yeah.
and the jealousy and all of that. You have to feel through. You have to go through
and
it.
and
And once
honestly
it's done,
the
you'll
quicker you
feel
go
better.
through it, the easier it is. Like आप
I'm
जितना
gonna
delay
disagree
करते
with
हैं
the
ना,
rest
it's
of the
like
people
it
here.
just eats.
I'm gonna disagree with the rest of the people here and say that if you want to lock it up temporarily, you can do that, but like do that with like by while keeping it in mind that I have to go through this at some point.
Yeah,
I
Yes,
have to
like
that is the
Yeah.
important
eventually
part.
you have
eventually I
to.
have to do this. I have to
Okay,
take a
just
look at this.
because you put it
or
in your mouth, you
or you
can't see.
could lock
Because
it up
like
with
if
the
you let the
intention
pressure
that
build
you
up for
would.
too long, and then it's gonna
नहीं
be
नहीं
pretty
नहीं
bad
नहीं
when it goes
मैं
off.
मैं इसलिए कह रहा हूँ ना keep it in mind that you have to face it at some point, preferably like you can delay it a couple of weeks but not like
Yeah.
you're delaying it by 10 years.
हाँ.
Yeah.
Like exams चल रहे हैं,
Bro.
अभी मुझे focus करना है, तो
Exactly.
let's just keep it down low, and then when things are all calm, then you can get help and kick out your emotions and
Or
stuff.
if you're lucky enough to get bad memories, you could just lock it up till you just forget about it.
You don't forget about these
Yeah,
things. You
you
Agree.
shouldn't no
You never,
don't
That's why
अभी
I
अच्छी
said.
more
advice
That's
दे
about
के हम
why
never
I
खराब
said
कर
forget
रहे
if
हैं.
bad
you're.
memories.
I
That's
think it
why
should
I
be more
said if
about you
you're
shouldn't.
lucky enough.
I think it should be
That's
more
why
about
I
you
said if
shouldn't
you're
no,
lucky enough.
because I think every negative thing that's happened to me it's helped me make better choices in the future. toxic
Yeah.
relationships that I had in the past helped me figure out what I was doing wrong and what people did wrong to me, so that I could not, so I wouldn't make those unfair
But in the future.
exactly. Or like when I got bad grades.
And I read this thing.
Yeah, go ahead, Maria.
Sorry, going off what you said, like I read this Tumblr post which was, okay, whenever you're going through something, like don't be like it's okay or whatever, because like obviously it's not okay, it's hurting you. But just remember that whatever the problem is, it will find its place in your life somehow. Like it's not
Exactly.
just
Yeah.
messy. And like I have like two bits of advice, just two things that have helped me like zindagi ke andar. And like one of those is embrace your insignificance. Okay, just remember that you are one person on this earth. Your problems are they're like, I'm not saying they're invalid, obviously. लेकिन like अपनी पूरी जिंदगी के अंदर that one thing, that one bad grade, even though it means like it so much, it doesn't really it like it doesn't really matter as much as you think it does.
Long term, it doesn't. Everything has a shelf life. Our coach
Yeah.
said this in his own podcast.
Yes, our
which was
debate coach said this.
fucking great. And it was that everything has a shelf life. Every achievement.
Yeah.
He emphasized the achievement because we tend to glorify and like our achievements more than we do our mistakes. Even though I disagree, and
And
I think
then we
that
end up with
mistakes.
inflated egos.
I think in mistakes haunt
Yeah.
us more than achievements do. But that aside, that's my
Yeah,
own.
they do. We tend to dwell on them because you'll find a perfectionist more like a perfectionist who's expecting way too much of themselves more often that you than you'll find someone who's actually celebrating their achievements way too much.
So I'm just gonna plug.
Yeah.
This is a good time to plug my own very nice quote. It's easier to
Say it.
see when you're wrong than it's easier than nay, it's easier to see when you're right than it's easier to see when you're wrong than when you're right. Man, I'm a
Wow,
Get
you
your own
fucking
quote
cannot
right.
even.
man.
You can.
This is why we cut this entire part out. We edit this movie magic.
In conclusion, everything is hard.
In conclusion, I have brain lag. Acha,
What's going on?
I think one side that I want to address right now is that we talked about negative relationships and we talked about being mistrustful and being really careful about who you pick when you come to friends and stuff. But I think it's also really important to actually have at least one friend that you can 100% rely on. Like maybe it's like a childhood friend you've had since like you were in fifth grade, or it's like some guy,
It could be
someone.
your mom.
It like
It's
literally anybody. It could be some dude you.
It can be
It could be some
Exactly.
dude you play
It's-
online video games with on Discord. Like it could be fucking
Yeah.
anybody, but like somebody you feel you can 100% trust.
It could be your
And
cat. Talk to
honestly-
your cat.
Yeah, talk to your cat.
Yeah.
Talking to
Cats
animals
are
is really
pretty
nice.
good at keeping secrets.
Because
They are.
Yep.
cats, you never know, a cat might turn out to be a human, which I don't know, fucking know. You know, weird shit has happened to me
one
during
thing-
pandemic.
Let's not just dwell on the fantasy.
One thing that I
Hassan, you
would
have a very
really
weird
like to
past.
recommend
I have a
to
very weird
people-
future from what I'm seeing.
One thing that I would really like to recommend to people, like whatever your age is, who like wherever you are in life, learn to behave well, learn to be polite. When they say chivalry
I
is dead,
highly
I
disagree with
think
this.
it's dead.
I highly disagree with
No,
what
like
Bajaj saying.
learn to be
No,
polite,
वो जो
but not to the point
basic
where people
manners
start to
होते हैं,
use
you
you.
need to
I
learn.
I
Like
have an issue with
being-
manners.
yeah.
I have an issue with manners as well. We're going to talk about this in the next
Says
podcast.
the person who
probably.
is mannered and civilized. Like you
debatable.
know your
Like if you
shit,
want,
Honestly,
if you
right? You
want to like
understand how to behave in a
do
Okay,
crazy stuff,
we'll talk about this in one of
मतलब
the
ये नहीं है
podcasts.
कि,
So
like,
be sure to check us out. Be
But
sure to subscribe, like this
Yeah.
video,
Hi.
and comment.
Yes.
And stick around for
We'll
future
talk
podcasts.
about-
We're not going to talk about it in this podcast. We're probably going to be finishing off right about now because it's really fucking long. And it's
it
past
is
my
time to
bedtime.
end this.
And it's past my bedtime. I really should get to sleep. I haven't
Yes.
slept properly in a very long time.
It's 12:37.
Abhijat, you
go
did
to
not have
bed,
to
you
say that.
weirdo.
Oh,
Abhijat,
nice.
Alright,
You're like
love
literally
it.
the only other person who has the exact same time.
खत्म करो ऐसा.
So,
Yes.
we talked about a lot of things. But a TLDR of what we talked about is don't be afraid. You'll
Can't
make
even sum
mistakes.
it up.
You'll make mistakes.
Yes.
Find somebody you can trust 100%. Whoever it is, it can be a family member, it can be whatever, friend, family, anything.
Honestly, just find a person who you click with.
Yeah, exactly. Like somebody you enjoy
जरूरी नहीं है
being with.
कोई पुराना ही जानने वाला दोस्त. So it's like someone that you
हाँ.
just talked to yesterday, and it's like
Like
it
my my current best friend
Yeah.
is
there's
somebody I met
there's a
at the
sort
end
of
of last year,
aura
basically.
around the person. It's a sort of feeling that you get, like you can trust a person.
Yeah,
Just
like
go with it. Go with instinct.
in the wise words of Malika Haider, vibe check.